Hello, everyone. It's that time of day again. I got my frumpy reading sweater on. I'm all set. What have we got here today? Nice glass of cool water. Okay, today I'm going to read a story that somebody requested. So, are you ready? Sit back, relax. I'll just get the book. Hold on. Okay. Today's story is by Dr Seuss. It's called The Butter Battle Book. Okay, I got my reading glasses, got the book. Are you ready? Sit back, relax. Let's go. On the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall, my grandfather took me out to the wall. For a while he stood silent. Then finally he said, with a very sad shake of his very old head, "As you know, on this side of the wall we are Yooks. On the other side of the wall live the Zooks." Then my grandfather said, "It's high time that you knew of the terrible, horrible thing that Zooks do. In every Zook house and in every Zook town, every Zook eats his bread with the butter side down." "But we Yooks, as you know, when we breakfast or sup, spread our bread," Grandpa said, "with the butter side up." "That's the right honest way," Grandpa gritted his teeth. "So you can't trust a Zook who spreads his bread underneath. Every Zook must be watched. He has kinks in his soul. That's why, as a youth, I made watching my goal. Watching Zooks for the Zook Watching Border Patrol." In those days, of course, the wall wasn't so high, and I could look any Zook square in the eye. If he dared to come close, I could give him a twitch with my tufted, prickly snickberry switch. For a while that worked fine. All the Zooks stayed away, and our country was safe. Then one terrible day, a very rude Zook by the name of Van Itch snuck up and slingshotted my snickberry switch. With my broken off switch, with my head hung in shame, to the chief Yookaroo in great sorrow I came. But our leader just smiled. He said, "You're not to blame, and those Zooks will be sorry they started this game. We'll dress you up right in a fancier suit. We'll give you a fancier slingshot to shoot." And he ordered the boys in the back room to figure how to build me some sort of triple sling jigger. With my triple sling jigger, I sure felt much bigger. I walked up to the wall with great vim and great vigor, right up to Van Itch with my hand on the trigger. "I'll have no more nonsense," I said with a frown, "from Zooks who eat their bread with the butter side down." Van Itch looked quite sickly. He ran off quite quickly. I'm unhappy to say he came back the next day in a spiffy new suit with a big new machine, and he snarled as he said, looking frightfully mean, "You may fling those hard rocks with your triple sling jigger, but I also now have my hand on a trigger. My wonderful weapon, the jigger rock snatch 'em, will fling 'em right back just as quick as we catch 'em. We'll have no more nonsense, we'll take no more gup from you Yooks who eat bread with the butter side up." I failed, sir, I sobbed as I made my report to the chief Yookaroo in the headquarters fort. He just laughed. "You've done nothing of the sort. Our slingshots have failed. That was old-fashioned stuff. Slingshots, dear boy, are not modern enough. All we need is some newfangled kind of a gun. My boys in the back room have already begun to think up a walloping whiz-zinger one. My bright boys are thinking. they're on the right track, and they'll think one up quick, and we'll send you right back. They thought up a great one, they certainly did. They thought up of a gun called Kickapoo Kid, which they loaded with powerful puadoo powder, and ants' eggs, and bees' legs, and dried up clam chowder. And they carefully trained a real smart dog named Daniel to serve as our country's first gun-toting spaniel. Then Daniel, the Kickapoo Spaniel, and I marched right back towards the wall with our heads held up high, while everyone cheered and their cheers filled the sky. Fight! Fight for the butter side up! Do or die! Well, we didn't do, and we didn't quite die. But we sure did get worsted, poor Daniel and I. Van Itch was there too, and he said, the old pig, the boys in my back room invented this rig, called the 8-nozzled elephant-toted boom blitz. It shoots high explosive sour cherry stone pits, and will put your dumb Kickapoo Kid on the fritz. Poor Daniel and I were scared out of our wits. Once more, by Van Itch, I was bested and beat. Once again I limped home from the wall in defeat. I dragged and I sagged, and my spirits were low, as low as I thought they ever could go. Then I heard a boom-ba and a diddle-dee-dill, and our buttered-up band marched up over the hill. The chief's yuckaroo had sent them to meet me, along with the right-side-up song girls to greet me. They sang, "Oh, be faithful, believe in thy butter," and they lifted my spirits right out of the gutter. "My boy," smiled the chief yuckaroo, "we've just voted and made you a general. You've been promoted. Your pretty new uniform's ready. Get in it. The big war is coming. You're going to begin it. And what's more, this time you are certain to win it. My boys in the back room have finally found how. Just wait till you see what they've puttered up now. In their great new machine, you'll fly over that wall and clobber those buttered down zooks, one and all." Those boys in the back room sure knew how to putter. They made me a thing called the utterly sputter, and I jumped aboard with my heart all aflutter and steered towards the land of the upside-down butter. This machine was so modern, so frightfully new, no one knew quite exactly just what it would do. But it had several faucets that sprinkled blue goo, which somehow would sprinkle the zooks as I flew, and gum up that upside-down butter they chew. I was racing pell-mell when I heard a voice yell, "If you sprinkle less zooks, you'll get sprinkled as well." Van Itch had a sputter, exactly like mine, and he yelled, "My blue gooer is working just fine. I'm here to say, if you yooks can goo zooks, you better forget it, 'cause zooks can goo yooks." I flew right back home, and as you may have guessed, I was downright despondent, disturbed, and depressed. And I saw, just as soon as I stepped back on the land, so were all the girls in the butter-up band. The chief's jump majorette, Ms. Yuki Yan Su, said, "That's a pretty sour flight that you flew, and the chief yuckaroo has been looking for you." I raced to his office. The place was a sight. "Have no fear," said the chief. "Everything is all right. My bright back room boys have been brighter than bright. They thought up a gadget that's newer than new. It's filled with mysterious maclake moo, and can blow all those zooks clear to Salamagoo. They've invented the bitsy big boy boomeroo. You just run to the wall like a nice little man. Drop this bomb on the zooks just as fast as you can. I've ordered all yooks to stay safe underground while the bitsy big boy boomeroo is around." As I raced for the wall with a bomb in my hand, I noticed that every last yook in our land was obeying our chief yuckaroo's grim command. They were all bravely marching with banners a flutter down a hole for their country and the right side up butter. That's when Grandfather found me. He grabbed me, he said, "You should be down in that hole, but you're up here instead." But perhaps this is all for the better somehow. You will see me make history right here and right now. Grandpa leaped up that wall with a lopulous leap, and he cleared his hoarse throat with a populous beep, and he screamed, "Here's the end of that terrible town full of zooks who eat bread with the butter side down." At that very instant, we heard a clop clop of feet on the wall, and old Van Itch clopped up. The boys in his back room had made him one too. In his fist was another big boy boomeroo. "I'll blow you," he yelled, "into pork and wee beans. I'll butter side up you into small smithereens." "Grandpa," I shouted, "be careful, oh gee! Who's going to drop it? Will you or will he?" "Be patient," said Grandpa. "We'll see. We will see." The end. My, that seems like a silly thing to have a war over, doesn't it? But that was the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, take care of everybody. Take care of yourself. And have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.